Hi and welcome to What to Fund August 2015, a special video in my series of origami recommendations. So rather than suggesting origami models to fold, I thought I'd point out some really cool origami projects that are seeking funding. And the first one is very related to origami models and folding and teaching, and that's Project Connect, which Origami USA is doing. And the idea is to bring conventions to everyone in their home. So I know not everyone can attend conventions, but it's such an awesome experience. So the idea is to have online classes, live streaming, so that it's really interactive, so that you can connect with people from all over the world, teaching and learning, perhaps also from really high-profile designers, which you wouldn't otherwise really have access to. And conventions are such a fantastic thing, so I think it's such a big and fantastic effort to go there. And of course, it's not just about having people volunteer and teachers and getting all of the organization done, it's also about funding. So it would be really, really fantastic if you can help out, and it's very easy. You simply go to the Origami USA website on the donations page, which is origamiusa.org/donate, and then you can donate whatever amount you can and want, and specify Project Connect as a comment field. And they're hoping to take off before the year ends, so it's really exciting, and I'm very curious how everything turns out. And I'll be sure to join in, perhaps teaching a session here or there too. And I hope you're as excited as me about it, as it really has that potential that you can interact and maybe ask questions on the one hand while learning something, but perhaps also just kind of picking the brains of people that you really admire in the community, kind of bringing that really social aspect of conventions to everyone around. And I know I do videos, but there's so many more other people to meet, and having that set up by such a big society as Origami USA, I think will be just something that makes it so much better and so much more, and bringing many people together. So I think you can tell I'm really excited, and I'd love to see that happen. So it'd be great if you can help out too. The second project is slightly different, also teaching and sharing the joy of origami, but more with children at hospitals. Now, the Ohio paper folders have been doing these paper packs and booklets and stuff for children in hospitals, and it's made a real difference just during that kind of difficult time, being in hospital, maybe not being able to go out as much, maybe even not moving as much as usual, not being just able to run around and be with your friends as much. And origami can then just be something that brings them joy, because you don't have to run around, and sometimes you will be by yourself, or maybe you also want some downtime, maybe you don't have as much energy, and origami then can really lift you up. And so I think it's such a fantastic project, and because they've been getting so fantastic feedback from parents and children, and how much of a difference it made, they want to take it to the next level. So they are actually attempting to bring these booklets and origami paper packs to all children hospitals over North America, making a real difference to a lot of children and their families. And of course, that needs a lot of funding, because it's just the paper costs money, and printing the booklets or buying booklets is really a lot. But it's I think the money is used so well, because it makes such a big difference to people, and that is as so much more value. And they're currently seeking, I think, $53,000 to bring this project to all of the hospitals. and right now they are at close to 10,000 US dollars. So they've still got quite a way to go. So I think it would be fantastic if you could help out, because it's just the best project ever. Really, really being helpful, and giving giving back something perhaps that you received from origami. And if they actually exceed the goal, they want to bring it to even more hospitals, and you can make suggestions. And wouldn't that be absolutely fantastic? I definitely think so. So if you want to support the project, and why wouldn't you, you head over to gofundme.com/origami for hospital, and they also have some thank you rewards when you join the effort. I know, I think it's thanks enough knowing that you're doing such a great thing, but they do have stuff as a note of appreciation, which I think is absolutely fantastic too, and I really admire their effort, and I'd love for you to join in. And the third project again is totally different. The first, was with bringing conventions to you and teaching and maybe talks or discussions. The second one is bringing origami to children and letting them have the joy. And the third one is perhaps more about changing the perception of origami. So at the Origami USA convention just recently, I met Win-Win, and she got together with Leah Frenny, and they have this fashion label called Vogel, and they're doing origami fashion. Now I know there's been some fashion where, they call it origami and it's not really origami, but this is the real stuff. They've got a lot of awesome ideas implementing tessellations, but also kind of doing folds, and then applying lighting to then have kind of shadows of folds on fabric, which is also really fantastic. And these two concepts of tessellations, as in folding the fabric and then having folds that make patterns on fabric, are I think what really defines their line right now. So they've been really well perceived already. So they've been invited to Vancouver Fashion Week to present their spring-summer collection for 2016. And I think it's absolutely fantastic, and they've put so much love and effort and energy into it, just experimenting what works and how to achieve a fantastic result. But of course, it costs a lot of money too, especially when you go to Fashion Week, because you need the models, you need the makeup, you need to travel, you need to also have all of the looks and get the fabric and whatnot. And there's a lot to do other than just putting all of your ideas in and your energy and of course the money that it costs for you to dedicate all of that time. So they are seeking your help to really make it happen and help them launch that. And I think it's fantastic to, have so many people see such a different artistic, wearable view of origami. And plus, if it really takes off, we can buy some origami looks too to wear. I think they're very, elegant and kind of more high fashion, but wearable high fashion, and that too may be an aspect. Wouldn't it be great to have people wearing real origami and it not being like strange, but just beautiful, and perhaps even some higher profile people like VIPs at some great event. So I think it's such a fantastic effort. And it was so fascinating hearing Win-Win talk about it and explain some of the approaches they've taken. And there's more details on their funding site, which is at ig.me/@/Vogel. And This is the Indiegogo campaign, and they've got less than 2 weeks and they've left in the campaign. They're seeking 10,000 US dollars, and they're about 3/4 of the way, a bit more. So I think it would be absolutely fantastic if you two helped out so that they reach their goal. And I think it's not just about the money, it is, but it's also seeing that people support. So even if you're just supporting a very little, if a lot of people contribute just a little, it makes such a big difference on the money, but also simply on having that boost, seeing that there is interest and that others believe in you. And they have fantastic prizes too for contributors, from greeting cards and bags and lamps and a lot of other stuff, up to actually, if you're a really big contributor, you being able to meet them and collaborating to design a look that kind of expresses your aesthetic too. If you kind of travel to New York where they're based, because New York is the place to be for fashion. So a wonderful project too, so worth supporting. And with these 3 projects all kind of going into different direction, I think there's something that really vibes with everyone, and perhaps even all 3 of them you think are worth funding. And you can fund a bit to everyone, depending on what you feel about most strongly, or what you think needs the most support still, and also maybe depending on how much you want to get out of it for yourself, from being like very altruistic to really having something that you can very directly profit from too. So with that, I'm going to finish this video in my origami recommendation series, the what to fund rather than what to fold. But of course, there are the what to fold videos, which will continue next month again. And if you enjoy my recommendations, especially of which models to fold, I've also got a playlist of all the previous and, if you're watching this a bit later, future origami recommendation videos. So do check those out, and I've also got links to all of the project sites that you could potentially really help out in the video description. And head over there, take a look, and if you really feel like, yes, this is something I'm going for, fantastic. As a final note, Project Connect I think currently doesn't have a really write-up yet, but as mentioned, donating to Origami USA and mentioning Project Connect is going to ensure that donations go there. And of course, I think Origami USA is always worth supporting, because they're doing so much, not just for the members, but for people all over the world in the origami community, even if they're not a member, just sharing so much goodness and happiness through folding, which is what I'm all about too. So with that, I wish you all the best, a fantastic summer, go fund some origami projects, and I'll see you around. Bye bye!